What's up, guys?
Is
You
that
there
my
with
cue to
me?
jump into?
Yeah, we should talk about that first, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Well, baby steps. We're still working with baby steps here. Wait. Should I do my cadence? I
Yeah.
should. Maybe. Oh, for good time's sake. UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. It's the Wolf10 media. Your Wolf Chimera, the werewolf with the green lion girl. Wait, you're supposed to be leading this. What are we talking about today, Greenie?
Well, as you may have heard, and I think I've already sent you all the trailers. There's um but if you're in the chat, and I don't see anybody in the chat, but I do have the links in the description, so check those out when you get a chance. But yeah, last week PlayStation had its state of play, and you know how they mostly do trailers for upcoming games and some updates, right?
Yep,
Okay,
I
well,
have a lot to say about those games, and I'm sure you do too as well.
yeah,
Fortunately, only one of us is 100% not so much of a happy camper, while the other one is 85% mildly a happy camper. I'm not giving no names here, guys. You make the judgment here.
well, as far as the state of play went, I mean, it had its good moments. I mean, it's, I mean, there were a couple interesting horror games. I will say that,
Oh, I
but
wasn't there for that.
but there was also an update for Crash 4,
Yippee!
and let me see, there's also a game called Sifu,
Seafood. Is
as
that
well
Kung Fu
as
Panda?
I well, no, but it is. It definitely looks like an Asian inspired game. So there's that.
Uh,
What everyone and I'm gonna say the live chat in that, for the most part, they were not that happy with it. I mean, there were some that games looked good. There were some that didn't look quite as good. But what had everyone talking about was the finale,
right.
and I'm I don't care what you think about Sony at this point. They really did pick the they really did save the best for last.
Or as I like to call it, what people have been questioning about for the longest time. And questions have been answered.
Well, to
Some
be
of
fair,
them.
I went into watching it expecting seeing tr- another trailer for Final Fantasy 16. I was not expecting Final Fantasy 7 remake to have a DLC announcement.
Would it be arrogant for me to say I saw that coming?
No,
I think they're trying to copy DMC5 a bit.
uh,
Just a
poss-
bit.
possibly, but uh, you know, it doesn't look like there's going to be too many DLCs for the 7 remake. Um, I mean, obviously, when 15 came out, it did have like it already had a code card where you could pre-purchase the DLCs.
And here I
And
thought they were given to us for free. I thought they were generous. You mean to tell me I lucked in when they decided to send them out for free? Or maybe it's because I buy the season pass? I don't
I
remember.
well, yeah, they did have a season pass, but I'm going to say unless you really wanted to be a part of the festivals like the Chocobo Moogle Festival and the Assassins Festival, well, You were better off waiting for the Royal Edition, which, to be fair, I don't know if we even knew that was going to come out. But
Right.
um, it had all the DLCs, save for episode Arden, which came out later and was supposed to be another season of DLCs, but unfortunately, Square pulled the plug on that, and well, you know the rest of the story.
Right. They're notorious for pulling the plug on things. It's funny
So,
that we mentioned Final Fantasy VII remake when there's a ton of games that they could be remaking. I'm sure they got some gotten remakes due to them releasing them on handheld consoles. But where's the meat at? What we got was remasters, if you ask me.
well, I forgot the source, but apparently there is some rumors going around that they are doing other remakes as well. Um, I think there is one particular that I think Katase said he wanted to do a 5 remake,
Mm,
and in another interview, Nomura kind of hinted that, well, and it was actually addressing what like it, wait, is it Nomura or Katase? It may have been Katase again. When they were talking, well, about fan theories, which ones were true, which ones were not.
mm.
8 got caught up because obviously 8 has two major theories. One being the Squall is dead theory, and the other one being Renoa is Ultimecia. And
That
you know,
theory I can kind of consign to a bit. I haven't I haven't been playing it for a while, but I intend to play the rest of 8. But I'm very familiar with these two theories. Only one of them I kind of believe.
okay, and all right, and I guess I need to do a quick summary of them. All right, this Squall is dead theory comes from some hints in 8 that, particularly after you get to a certain point and he has a chunk of ice that looks extremely huge, uh,
Right.
shot into his chest.
Yep. Yeah, that was like the promotional scene that they promoted in the commercials too, when 8 was released. So I remember
Yeah,
that scene. I
and
just didn't know that
obviously,
she literally impaled him. I thought she pinned him to the wall at the time. I think that was them censoring it or something like that.
well, apparently, well, he just wakes up with perfectly fine afterwards when, after his battle at the beginning with Cypher, or was it
Yeah,
Zephyr?
Cipher.
Well, he had a scar on his face from that. But he doesn't have a scar or anything from this huge chunk of ice, which is kind of
Yeah.
weird. And and well, you know how all the how some things that seem a bit odd, such as Renoa being a little bit more lovey-dovey towards him,
Yeah.
and and she was supposed to be Cypher's girl before.
Oh, did not know that.
Well, I think it was hinted that she dated Cypher prior to the infamous ballroom scene. So,
And it's raining outside right now. Might
and
hear thunder. But continue
you
what you're saying. I'm sorry, just giving you a heads up.
I mean, you have all these very strange and fantastic things happening, such as Squall suddenly getting put in charge of the entire Bedlam Garden, which somehow turns into a spaceship or airship.
Yeah. Hey, Casey Scott, by the way.
Oh, oh, hey, Casey Scott. Um, but yeah, like everything kind of seems
See,
fantastic,
Greenie, have a little faith. People will show up eventually.
and
She she was a little worried. Let's just give some context. She was a little worried, and I said, have some faith. We will get some people. Trust me. You're Green Lion girl. People will show up.
But before that, everything was kind of normal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's give Casey Scott the scoop of where we're at right now. We're talking about Final Fantasy VIII before we get into the meat of the stream.
Yeah,
She's talking
and
about the Squall's death theory. By the way, go ahead. Sorry to push pause on that front. Go ahead, Greenie.
yeah, I mean, like, now keep in mind, Squall just became a seed. Like,
Right.
I mean, he just passed his exam not, not that long ago, and now he all of a sudden he is head the guard,
That is true.
and you know, normally would you expect to see anything like that?
Repeat what you said
I
just now,
mean,
because you kind of
okay,
cut out there.
okay, all right, all right,
I'm pretty
you,
sure everybody else heard you, but I didn't hear you. You kind of cut out on my end. Oh, I think. Go ahead.
okay, okay, all right. If you start a job at almost the lowest level, well, next week, and then the week after, suddenly you're store manager. Would you ever expect anything like that?
No.
I mean,
I just thought it was a time skip, though.
no,
That's what I
no,
thought it was.
not really, and I don't, not really, and but well, I mean, sometimes does pass, but not really enough. I mean, well,
Yeah.
actually, maybe a better example to say, okay, let's say you start McDonald's tomorrow, and then 3 months you're the CEO or the district manager. Like maybe a better comparison.
Yeah. Yeah. Already, it's basically I like to call it Captain Marvel promotion.
And now apparently there is part of the ending cut scene. There is and this actually may be a bad image where if you stop it at a certain time or someone has kind of brought up, there's a picture of what's supposed to be Squall, but his face is a black hole.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of where that theory came from. And then obviously you have the Ranoa is Ultimecia theory,
Yeah.
which you know that is like where you if like Ultimecia has all these summons, and even the ones you don't find. Like if you
Hmm.
definitely you'll find them in her castle. She also has Griever, which a copy of was made from. Well, that Squall has that. I think it was Zell made a copy of it and gave it to Renoa.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, and, and plus you also have where the summons. I forgot what they're called in eight, but where the more time you spend around summons, the more you tend to lose your memory. And with Renoa being a sorceress, um, you know that, and Ultimecia being from the future,
Yeah.
and I think someone even pointed out that some of Ultimecia's attacks in Dissidia were Renoa's in eight. So there's that.
Nobody ever thought that maybe Squall has amnesia. That's why he has a blank. There's a blank face in the picture,
Hmm.
and nobody ever questioned why Squall is being very distant towards everybody. Like his usual catchphrase is whatever. Nobody ever questioned why Squall is so cold in a way.
Well,
Maybe he has amnesia. Maybe he's a entirely different person. Kind of like the whole Cloud imitating Zack's thing in Final Fantasy VII.
Well, in 8, and actually you find that after a certain point in 8, you find out that Squall, Cypher, Keistus, Zell, I think it was also Zell and Selfie were all at the same orphanage.
Yeah,
And none of them remember it. Oh, wait, there's also Irving or Irvine. I cannot remember his name.
Irvine.
Yeah,
Irvine.
he was the guy with the he was the sharpshooter, the cowboy.
Yep, Irvine. Irvine.
Yeah, and they were all at the same orphanage, and only Irvine remembered them.
Mm-hmm.
But part of it was because Bedlam, they used a lot of summons, whereas the other gardens didn't.
Exactly.
I mean,
Final
and
Fantasy is
even
always trippy like that. Like the whole Cloud is imitating somebody who altered his memories. The whole fact that a lot of characters are amnesiac in 8 or even 9. Zidane is actually a doomsday weapon in a way, and Tidus is a dream in 10, or at least a dream now gone because the place where the dream came from is now erased. When they stopped doing that, I think in 13 or 12, because those were
I'm not,
trippy story beats.
yeah, I've not been able to play 13 all the way, but I do know that it that story really goes off the it really goes crazy at the end.
The only thing that was like Final Fantasy like of it was the fact that Vanille and Fang were faking the funk the whole time, or at least Vanille was faking the funk throughout the whole story, and that was not even interesting. Unlike what had came before, when it came to big reveals like that, I didn't even play that far into Final Fantasy 13 either, and I, of course, given channels that I follow with spoilers, I was like, that's it. That was the big reveal in this game compared to games before. There's I'm just saying they're slipping on that front. They've been slipping on that front.
Yet, well, now the online 14, the MMO 14, you know, it is supposed to be very story driven, and apparently it has been getting progressively darker, for which is kind of the field that 16 is going, which makes sense because the same director for 14 is responsible for 16.
Hmm. Shall we get into the topic at hand? We've indulged our inner Final Fantasy fan for a bit.
the new, the, well, the new trailer for the DLC and in the PlayStation 5 edition of 7 Remake.
Shall I begin or should you begin?
I want your
It's your.
opinion on this
I'll say
first.
it's your stream, Greenie. I mean, you want to hear
Yeah,
my opinion? You want me to go first? I'm usually a gentleman now.
I know, but
Well, let me
oh,
rephrase that. I'm constantly a gentleman. Sorry,
well,
go ahead.
when I was watching it, I was actually at work in the break room, had my headphones in, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, at when I was watching State of Play, and when that came on, I was fangirling it completely. I mean, I was excited, I was happy. I think one of my coworkers had to check on me and make sure I was okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this a common occurrence at your workplace?
Well, usually I don't go. Well, I don't get that excited. I mean, it takes a lot to get me excited. So they were. Also, I think she was worried I was having a heart attack.
You don't go woo when you're having a heart attack.
Mm, usually,
That's not
what?
that's not a critique on you. That's a critique on your coworkers' judgmental skills.
Well, I'm usually pretty quiet in the break room. I mean, occasionally I will have some sort of cookies or something that I'll share with everybody. But
Oh, you're so sunny, Greenie. You're so sunny. I did mention that I called you Tiva, right? I think I should have called you Aerith
oh,
because you're that sweet.
oh, you're a sweet Wolfie.
Oh, thank you. I tried.
But yeah, I was really excited for it. I mean, everything looked good. The only red flags I had was Yuffie was not in Midgar in the original game.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. I think she should have stayed in at least outside of Midgard. I think it would have been better because yeah, I'm gonna chime in with my opinion. I like the fact that she literally goes actively goes to Midgard like that. I'm like, no, why? This should have been a perfect time for the company to leave Midgard and explore Wutai. Because I really like as much as what I say in the streams about remake. I'm glad that the fans did get remake. I'm you know I'm I have a love hate relationship with this game first and foremost. But I was very curious as to where they were gonna go with it too. And Wutai was one question mark that I had, especially Nanaki's home village too. I wanted to see where they're gonna go with that with that level design. I want to see the eagle too. The eagle fortress. I don't know the real name of that location where you have to do a tower defense. But I was like, like leave Midgard now. I'm sick and tired of being in Midgard. It reminds me too much of what the Assassin's Creed games were going through when they were focusing too much on Ezio.
Uh huh.
They had my heart set on each game is going to feature a different assassin. But like one, well actually no, two, Brotherhood, Revelations kept focusing on Ezio, and I'm like, okay, I get it. People love Ezio. Why are these not PSP games, and why not we focus on progressing the timeline with new assassins until we finally got that in 3, and later on we still kept exploring the world of 3 through Black Flag. I'm like, you know, I'm not fully on board with this franchise anymore. This is I'm saying this because this is where Seven Remake is going to put me in that position. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop looking at this game if they're going to keep sticking to Midgard. How much longer are they going to stay on Midgard until we finally get into the meat of the world building here?
Well, the good news is, well, the semi good news is part one is just Midgar.
Right,
I want to tell you that.
right.
And part
That
two
was
is we're
pre-planned.
gonna, yeah. And I'm like I said, we're not going to really talk about the like our expectations for part two or some speculation right now. But I will
No,
say, hopefully, in part two, we do get to see Yuffie and we do get Vincent. But I mean, I actually would love for part two to at least get to Niflheim.
yeah.
I may be putting my hopes too high on that one, but I don't know. But
There's
but
nothing wrong with that.
but something that someone that has been kind of a bit of a theory is that, well, came from remake having two different terms or meanings, and this came from Katase,
Hmm.
and actually kind of had me reminded me of the game Dark Cloud 2. I'm not sure if you played it.
I'm aware of it. I have played it.
Okay, well, in let's see, to sum up that storyline, line you have, all right, you have a character named Max who has this, well, this jewel that can tra- allow him to travel forward in time. He doesn't realize that's what it can do until much later. But his town is essentially closed off from the rest of the world. And meanwhile, 100 years in the future, there is this girl called, well, this princess called Monica.
Mm-hmm.
And um, her kingdom, well, her world in general is at war with this evil warlord, lord, or
It is
named
pouring on
called
my end.
Richard.
Continue.
And you know his influence is so bad it is almost, I mean, it is putting the entire world at and her castle is infiltrated and her father is killed by an assassin sent in
Mm.
front of her. So she's on a mission to kind of stop Griffin and get revenge on her father, and that lead and she has this blue stone that allows her to go 100 years you know, back, and she joins this rebel force to find the guy with the redstone, Max. And she kind of fills him in on what's going on well, when he gets chased through the sewers by clowns. Go ahead, laugh
This
if you
is
can.
Dark Cloud.
Yeah. Uh. So he gets chased through the sewers trying to find his way out of the town. He actually wants to find his mom. And, that's another big reveal in the story much later. I actually would encourage you to play this game yourself if you can. But
I'm,
yeah, he ends up meeting up with
I'm
Monica.
guessing this whole interesting spot. It holds a place in your heart, doesn't it?
It does it because it's actually one of my favorite PlayStation 2 games.
Rent free.
Yeah.
That was a delayed response.
But yeah. Um. But well, it turns out, well, Monica gives Max the update on what's going on in her time, and
Right.
so she has to go back and with him essentially rebuild the world of the past so that certain events and people and things are there that can help them in the future.
Mm.
And as they go on, there are some things that you know they that are changed, even though they restore everything. Some things still happen, such as,
Right.
all right, in in the future there's supposed to be a master crest, and this
Hmm.
whole like moonlight temple in the mountains, and that and unfortunately in the past Master Crest is killed trying to defend his student. I forgot what her name is. Yes, but yeah, but well, later they're able to go a little bit farther back in time to kind of try to rescue him, and they fail epically.
Hmm.
But his
Of course
student,
they do.
but his student, you know, now that her head is clear from this dream eater that was bothering her before, um, or was it a memory eater? But well, anyway, she decides, I'm going to continue his legacy. I am going to continue to study hard. I am going to fulfill his dream. And then, we end up traveling 100 years in the future, right after that that boss battle.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out there is a Master Crest in the future. However, it's not the obviously it's not the guy that died 100 years ago. It's actually his old student who took his name in his memory.
Right.
So, and then in another section, you had this science that they needed to go back 1,000 years.
Hmm.
Years that in Monica's original timeline, it had never been perfected. But after a boss battle, which ironically ended up with where they're saving these I want to call them platosaur like monsters or creatures.
Hmm.
Um, and this cyborg guy that was a bad uh, guy, and was somehow that these that was somehow shown kindness and this. Apparently, he turned into a good
Right.
guy after that battle, and he started back studying science again. And then 100 years later, there, due to his research development, and eventually his grandson carried on in his footsteps. So his steps, and this science was perfected so they could finish their time traveling train and go back 1,000 years. And
That's
it
it.
became so it kind of became a theory that, well, apparent that even though they were working in the past and trying to fix things, they were trying to make a better or a more perfect future.
It's that usual perks to time travel stories, right?
Right.
And what does this have to do with Final Fantasy, though?
Well,
as as
now,
much as a good story it is,
well, as you might
other
have,
than it's connected to the director who's working on the next chapter. Go ahead,
well,
Green. I got a little carried away there.
well, the reason, well, I don't think there's a direct connection, but the story does kind of. But there are some things that are kind of similar, where there are hints of. I mean, you might have already picked up on this, and it will kind of become a little bit more obvious later, here as we go
Right.
on, in that, um, there are memory flashbacks, backs and facts where of stuff that's yet to happen, as well as
Hmm.
stuff that's happened in the past, such as the scene with Aerith, probably the most infamous scene with her.
You mean Moe era?
Yeah.
That's our nickname I gave her. So
So
they're trying their darndest to make her cute, and I'm like, I don't know why you're doing that.
she's
Eris
cute
always was.
already.
That's what I'm saying. So you got her anime tripping and anime falling. I'm like, of course, everybody remembers Moe for one infamous scene, which is the chair scene.
Which we've not come to yet. Thank you for
You
spoiling.
know,
But
hey, I said it involved a chair. I didn't say what she did with it or what anybody did with the chair.
good point. And actually, I
you,
think that's what I mean too.
hopefully you'll cross that bridge maybe today or next week.
Yeah. Actually, there's even a. I think I've even saw some fan art of her sneaking up behind Sephiroth with a chair.
Now you're now that's getting close to spoilers.
But yeah, and this also has to do with the whispers. Like they're trying to stop people from changing the story.
AKA the fans.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but you know, it's kind of. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going for a more perfect future with this. I mean,
Hmm. Where Aerith
um,
doesn't die, Zack
okay, now
survives.
you're doing spoilers.
Yeah, but
Oh, hang
nobody
on,
really.
Aaron, you're here.
Yay!
Oh,
He popped up in my stream yesterday, and I was happy for him. I was happy that he showed up.
yeah, but oh, going back to the Yuffie trailer. What? Well, I know.
I don't like. I won't say this. Gameplay wise, I don't like that cutesy run she does when she's in costume. That costume is a bit too over top too, if you ask me. Like why isn't her retainer in disguise either? If anything, I'm like y'all like these guys are doing too much with the characters. Try safe, by the way, Darren Heron.
Yeah, but now,
Yeah, and that little run she does, I'm like, okay, I see the ninja run she does when you have her run on the walls and stuff like that, but like when she's like running normally on the grate in that one trail, I'm like, what is this?
oh, oh, Casey Scott. It's a 20-something-year-old game. No spoilers here. Okay, and Artificial Joni is. Oh, he's listening. He's still at work.
Yeah, you picked quite the time to do this impromptu stream.
Um, but yeah, but overall, I'm kind of happy with her redesign. Design.
Yeah, I do. When the costume came off, I was like, oh, there's Yuffie. I like her gameplay a bit. It's got a bit of a I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's kind of like a junction type of deal with the other guy that's with her. Like she combines attacks with him, which looks pretty cool. I'm guessing they borrowed a bit from maybe Final Fantasy 15 when you did you get that vibe?
Yeah, yeah, I
Because
did.
that's what I was thinking. When she was combining with him, quote unquote combining, it was it reminded me of Final Fantasy 15. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out there. Keep going.
Yeah, overall, I gotta say it does look interesting. I'm not sure if I'm happy that they brought her into Midgar. I mean,
That's the only thing that's bothering me.
yeah, me and well, that and the other thing I'll get to in a minute. So, so what you think about her Moogle cloak?
That's what I was talking about. The Moogle cloak was too over the top.
Now, apparently that
I was
does come from Dread to Cerberus.
that early.
Well, it might have been something that she always had, and she just hang on to. And apparently, we do. There is some Dread to Cerberus characters in there. There.
Which yeah, about them, we did get a glimpse of Weiss the Immaculate in that trailer, and the moment I saw that, I exclaimed, "Nomura! What is this? What are you doing,
Yeah.
bruh? I think you need to let out the King of Hearts crack. I think it's starting to ride your head. You're blending. You're blending into to the work here. You may as
Well,
well get the. It's like
I,
he's going time travel shenanigans here. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, I was also going to bring up something that I found the other day, and that Nomura, he's going to take a step back on the Seven remake, um, make for now. Now, I mean, he's still going to be involved somewhat, but the main director is going to be another person. I forgot what the guy's name is, but
I'm not even sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
yeah, particularly because of another Final Fantasy you guys might have heard of. I
Yeah.
mean, and not saying I didn't like 15. I mean, the gameplay was just so awesome. For the most part, I love the character designs. It was
Character design, I
just,
like, definitely.
it
Gameplay
was
wise,
just,
it kind of got a bit boring. For me,
Yeah,
that's just me.
it's just where like where you see where Nomura was going with the trailers that were going before he got pulled from it, and
Yeah,
you see what we got.
I was
I
expecting more of what the previous trailer that preceded it was showing where Noctis was running through buildings and he what's that move he does that people of Insomnia do, or was it Lucian
oh,
Luminous,
actually, it's kind of limited to him, and well, actually, certain members of the Kingsglaive can do it too.
right?
The
But
warp
yeah,
strike.
yeah he warp strikes and he lands on somebody and slides on the floor with them.
Hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool. And we never got a chance to do that in game. I mean, and I was like, oh, I'm disappointed, but that's just
Yeah,
me.
mm, yeah. But the main problem, and I think this is what has got a lot of people mad about the DLC, and that
Mm,
is it is a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
yeah,
I mean, it was released on PlayStation 4. I get that they want to push PlayStation 5, but and I guarantee this is probably more Sony than it is Square Enix because I
I'm
mean
I'm seconding that one. I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you on that front.
you got to think about it. Right now, PlayStation 5 does not really have any good exclusives out. This is
It
probably
really
the
don't.
closest they got to a good exclusive. So right now, besides Final Fantasy 16, and that is either going to come out late this year or early next year or possibly the year after, depending on how the development goes. But um, and there were actually so you could also tell in State of Play there was more of a push for 5 than 4. I mean, I think I even sent you a trailer to last night for not Final Fantasy but Samurai Warriors 5,
Yeah, I checked that out earlier today.
and
And
that
that's
is
what
on
I'm saying.
yeah, and that's on PlayStation 4. So you definitely can see there's more of a push for 5, but obviously there's quite a few problems with PlayStation 5 right now, and yeah, I don't really know if this DLC will do well just because of those problems. Because and it's not that people don't want it. And even you know, almost all PlayStation 4 games will play on 5. And actually, if you have the 4 version of 7 remake, you actually do get the I think you do get the DLC with like when you swap when you move your data over or with your PlayStation 4 disc or
It better be that way because they'll have a
yeah,
lot
I
of
think
pissed
that
off
was
customers and PlayStation loyalists if they can't
yeah,
do that.
yeah, yeah, but like I said well actually that is the case which is good thankfully, but the real issue right now, and this is more Sony's fault, and I'm going to flat out say it is more so Sony's fault because PlayStation 5 is so limited right now. Plus, we have the scalping going on still, and they've not really found a solution for that. I mean, I mean, Sony really does need to do something about the scalping thing. I mean,
Regale me on what scalping means.
okay, um, it's probably used to be more common for move for like concert tickets or event tickets like
Okay.
games or something. well, like football games, like you'll have scalpers by whole. Well, I call them scalpers, but more or less they're people like they buy a whole bunch of tickets just for the purpose of reselling them with a markup,
I see.
and often it's quite a bit of a markup. Um, and actually, I think PlayStation 5 is like $500 or $600 if you can buy it or find one through a normal retail. But if you if you go on eBay, you will see it for 800, $1,000.
Hmm.
And you'll like if you go to Walmart.com right now, it's sold out there. I mean, if you go to Target, it's sold out there. Uh, I don't even know if there's any stores that will carry them. These the PlayStation or Xbox X Series S right now, and probably not for a while because you know, and as soon as if they get a notification that there's more in stock, scalpers grab them, put them on eBay. Oh, artificial Johnny.
What is he saying?
And yeah, scalping, buying a large amount of highly desired item for the purpose of selling the items at a highly raised price.
Hmm. I still don't get it.
Okay,
I'm
uh,
sorry.
for, okay,
I
for example, say, all right, say there's only all right, I'm just going to use the professor for example. Supposedly we have a 100 copies of his book, Tales from the Stacks, all signed.
mm-hmm.
And all right, someone goes in and buys almost all of them, and if, at let's say, actually, I don't remember how much the book was. We're going to say, for example, $5, and then they put it on eBay or somewhere else for 10.
I think I got it.
Yeah, yeah. So that is going on, and I think that is going to continue to be a problem until Sony is able to figure something out. And I actually will encourage everyone, as tempting as it is to bite the bullet and pay the $1,000 on eBay to a scalper, don't do it. Don't do it. It just encourages them, and eventually they're going to lose interest in it. Eventually, Sony is going to ramp up production, and they're going to have a ton in store. You'll probably be able to go to Walmart and buy them, no problem. So just wait. I mean, and actually, if you wait a year or two, there's probably going to be another $100 or so knocked off the price.
Hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent and add something to
It's
the
fine.
trailers. Actually, that might turn into a separate video completely, but who knows?
Right.
So, so and it also did show there was another trailer that showed all the features for PlayStation 5 as far as graphics goes, and I know some people were happy about that because they were saying it was pushing the limits on PlayStation 4. I had no problem running it, and I don't even have PlayStation 4 Pro, so I don't know what their problem was on that. You still there?
Sorry about that. I was talking to my wife about something important.
Okay. But yeah, like I know there were some people that were talking about, it was pushing the PlayStation 4 graphics with 7, and when they showed the side by side comparison, and I think it may have been an added effect they put on that it that everything was a bit more foggy to me, but
Hmm.
didn't have any problem with the graphics on 4, but who knows. But let's move on to the first soldier trailer.
Oh yeah, First Soldier. One, I have a problem with that title, and two, I should not be reminded of Fortnite or PUBG.
Oh yeah, how exactly did I describe it when I sent you the trailer?
I I'll have to look at our conversation, but you remind me. I know I remember laughing. I know that.
Final Fantasy 7. I mean, Fortnite. Final Fantasy 7 edition or something like
Basically.
that. Yeah, and part of it has to do with the graphics and the gameplay. It is going to be a more of a I want to say more of the battle royale style game is
Man,
what
you distracted me. I just
really.
realized 50 minutes, and I was supposed to imitate my spirit animal Zax.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here you are, here you are with Yuffie right now, and I'm like, over time, I kind of knew that you were probably gonna pick Yuffie for your avatar. So I got just the perfect person, Zach, because they knew each other way back when.
Yeah, even
And I'm sitting here with with my usual avatar, and 50 minutes, and I just realized, oh right, I'm supposed to be Zach.
and well, actually, Zach does make a appearance in the remake. Although someone, although there is another theory that Stamp is supposed to represent Zach.
Who?
Stamp, the cartoon doggy graffiti through
Oh, my question is,
well,
why are they calling it the First Soldier?
that is another question because that actually placed that I want to say either in before Crisis or even before that, and I have to wonder if we get to fight alongside Sephiroth or if we have to train with Sephiroth and stuff like that.
Oh, train with Sephiroth. That's gonna go over really easy.
Well, technically he'll still be a teenager, hopefully, or 20 something. And who knows, and maybe Angel and Genesis, perhaps. There's literally no telling at this point.
Well, you can do summons and spells. And you also can fight like Tifa in the game. But I think the summons is gonna break the game.
Yeah,
That's
I
that's
mean,
that's my only. That's another issue I have with this game is
yeah,
that you can do the summons.
and it is a mobile title. I'm going to point that out now.
And I wonder if you can purchase the summons through real money, and you can just have the summons in your pocket and just curve stuff any fight in the game against any noob. So I hopefully they'll be able to balance the summons.
Yeah, another issue I had was, all right, as you know, or probably don't know, Cloud cannot jump in the game unless it's in a cutscene or he's in battle. And these characters in I saw at least one of them in the first Soldier trailer that could jump an entire story. I'm like, why can't we do that?
Well, you I could have sworn you can propel somebody with a magic spell in the air. last time I checked it, when I saw the gameplay footage, there was you can basically um, combine abilities, which is interesting. It seems like they're really playing on the whole teamwork thing, where you have to really fight like a team. But I don't know
Yeah,
how that's gonna last. How long it's gonna last? I'm not sure because I've been in so many these online type of games. Uh, there are some teamwork games that are still working like their teamwork, but there have been many times, especially in Overwatch, where people are trying to lone wolf it, and I'm like, dude, you can't lone wolf it, especially if they're this good. If the other team's this good, we gotta band together, man. Remember, you seen Tron Legacy,
yeah.
but
All
other
right.
than
So
that, like I don't see this lasting that long per se. I see it probably going to go silent for a while until it picks back up when people are actually exploring the game's mechanics a bit more and exploring and really showing off what the gameplay is intended. Much like what the other battle royale games have been so far when they first started. They start off as the it thing, then go silent for a while, and then when people are actually really exploiting the game and its mechanics, that's when things get popular again. I don't know if this is made specific for kids though. That's the thing.
yeah, I mean, I don't think there's
I think
been
they're
a
trying to. I'm saying they're trying to be. Seems like they're trying to rope in the Fortnite crowd.
well. I'm guessing that they're hoping that um that Fortnite crowd will want to play Fortnite mobile,
Mm-hmm.
and that they're going to age up a bit, and if they can get that crowd in, they'll have some that will decide to look into Final Fantasy VII and that expansive world and pull in more customers that way.
Yeah. Speaking of world, you actually get to run around in familiar levels like Everett's home. I think one was Wall Market, and I believe I think Nanaki's Village too has a map. But yeah,
Okay.
it's it's something I'm not gonna get for my phone anyway. So I mean, I just said my piece on it. I know I'm not gonna get it.
Okay. What about our final piece of our final trailer, Ever Crisis?
Now this one, I have one question. Why couldn't this been the remake? Because I saw the gameplay. The sprites look really scaled up this time around. They used they used the original PlayStation sprites, but they added more detail to them. They missed the gameplay a bit with the remake's gameplay. No, well, not necessarily. It handles like the remake. It just basically has better animations than its predecessor was. Like Cloud, it seemed like Cloud can double strike when he attacks now instead of just doing that one slash. Or hopefully Tifa won't do that punch and kick movement, and she can do several combinations this time around. Now, another critique I have with this, aside from it being on a phone now that you have to play on a phone this time around, which I wish that they could have just put it on home console.
Well, it
Um,
may end
I
up being that because I think the Final Fantasy 15 teen, teen Pocket Edition it actually is available on the PlayStation Store. So I don't know. That
hmm,
may be something that does come to consoles as
hmm.
well. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, but my other critique is I don't like the summons attacks in that one. I think they could have stuck with the update the same moves. Like if it's a special move is not in there, like where he powers up and charges into your enemies. They have a, or maybe they have different attack animations for the summons, or maybe there's something I missed when I played OG well during my play of OG Final Fantasy where they get you get more powerful and the summons do different moves this time around as you get more powerful.
Yeah, it is
I could be
possible.
wrong.
Yeah, it is possible. I mean, that was just a fraction of the gameplay play we saw. And what kind of has me excited for that is it's not just the original Final Fantasy. It looks like it's going to include almost all the total compilation.
Yeah, I saw that. I definitely saw that. Crisis Core and sprite mode too. Sprite look. They even they even went about it the exact way how they did with the original Final Fantasy from where he's running on top of the train and he trips over because he almost got shot and he got shot he gets shot at it again. Boy, they just love shooting at Zax, don't they?
Yeah,
He's like he's like a bullet magnet.
let's
But
see.
no,
And it's not.
I like that that they showed that. Excuse me, in classic Final Fantasy VII fashion. I actually like that bit.
Yeah, and it's also going to include some other games besides the original Final Fantasy VII and Crisis Core. It's going to include Dredge Cerberus.
Hopefully with better controlling.
Yeah, and as and before Crisis as well. And that one you can't really get more exclusive because, all right, one that was not just a mobile title. You had to have a specific phone, and it was only available in Japan.
Only in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to know the phone, watch Advent Children, it's it's Cloud cell phone in
Yeah,
that.
that mobile phone that he lugs around. Basically, just about everybody had that phone in that movie. Even the remnants,
Yeah,
which was weird because I'm like, now how did they come to acquire that phone? Did they kill somebody for those phones?
I don't know, but and it's not just gonna be the games. I also saw Advent Children in that mix as well, and it said much more. So I'm wondering what else they got in store for it. Like, are they going to include Last Order, On the Way to a Smile, or in
That's
some
or it
of
needs
the
to be on
others?
Blu-ray. That's for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, there's just a lot they can do with this, and I'm kind of excited to see where this specific one is going to.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
it. I mean,
I'm
can
pretty
you
excited to
imagine?
see where how it plays out. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Getting
I
ahead
mean,
of myself there.
I don't think there's ever been anywhere where you get the entire compilation in one major in one purchase. I mean, I know there are several books. I mean, a character we're going to meet is actually from the one of the books, and you know when when you think about how much they're adding back, well, adding to the remake, a lot of it has come from the compilation. Be it new characters or you
Hmm.
there.
Yeah, I'm still here. No, you know who? Speaking of new characters, you know who we didn't really talk about that much? Yuffie's entourage.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if he's a member. on another in another part of the compilation, or if he's going to be a one-off character, or if he's a brand new character. I mean, I have, I have heard that there are going to be some that will just appear in one game or one part of it, and we're never going to see them again.
Much like everybody, just about any new person. Like what's that fool's name that dances around that you kept hitting on in remake?
Roosh or Roche?
Yeah, Rose. I think his name was Russ Rose. I mean, are we gonna see him in the future? I doubt it. They always
I
bring
don't.
up these one-off characters that seem to have some significance, but hardly anybody remember. Like Seal from Crisis Core. What? Oh, I think I probably pronounced her name wrong.
Cecily?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be interesting if down the road we see her again, because I think right after Zach disappeared, she left the Turks.
Oh, I thought she died.
Well, I think
Wow.
it's like, okay, the guy I like is gone now. I don't really have a reason to stick around. I realize I probably could, if I stay with you guys, I will probably, there's a chance I could find him again, but I don't really trust you. So I'm just gonna hit the road and maybe I'll find him on my own, and I'm never gonna see him again.
Trying to find his name.
Now, especially Chadley is going to be a one-off character too.
Oh, is he that one guy that's also tag along? The blonde
He's
hair guy?
yeah, the one with the monocle, well, who I think you said kind of looked like he was dressed like he was supposed to be a Kingdom Hearts representation. And we have to go find.
Ah.
Yeah, and as we go a little bit farther in the remake, we'll find a little bit more about Chadley, and it's not in. I think of the characters there's that they added or new to the game. I think he was one of the lowest ranked. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Oh, the guy's name is Sonon. The guy with the staff. I think his
Okay.
name is Sonon. I'm sure you're gonna get something out of this one, Greeny, because you're the one who's playing it.
Yeah, so far I've loved the gameplay of the remake. I really don't haven't had any, any complaints aside from the fact that apparently if I change the difficulty setting in one save file, it changes them for all of them.
As it does.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad I didn't have it on hard mode. Now that would have been pathetic last time.
Oh, I still remember, and I asked, like, did the difficulty just get finicky all of a sudden?
Yeah. And
As it
actually,
does.
well, actually, in order to unlock hard mode, you have to finish the game first,
Right.
and then you have to go in and change the setting yourself. And actually, I think it actually came from the complaint over the last few games that these games are too easy. We need more challenges. We need harder enemies. Please give us
Yeah.
a hard mode. Which, to be fair, like you said, it does get a little bit boring at a certain point if a game is just too easy.
Right. Yeah, that's what happened with me. I think what turned me off of 15 was that I already beat the game, and since the beginning part of the game, like enemies were just dying left and right. I don't know if I just didn't pull up the difficulty to mitigate how OP some of the characters were at that point in the first act. I was like, I'm not going to go through all this. I'm done. trade in.
I I think my issue with it was okay. First time I was doing a playthrough through okay. Um, before I went to Altisha, I decided I want to do more missions as a hunter. So yeah, and I decided I was going to try to be at least at level 50 before I went to Altisha.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like warp strike, warp strike, warp strike, warp strike. No, the problem until I hit Leviathan.
Mm. Leviathan. Oh boy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that Leviathan was gorgeous. I
Yes,
mean,
it was, especially in the promotional trailer that basically showed that they overhauled the game.
yeah,
I wanted to play that sequence so badly. I mean, granted, we did get a massive kaiju fight, sort of.
yeah,
You're basically Star Warsing it around Leviathan, just shooting basically weapon missiles at the thing. But I'm like, as fun as this is it. I thought I was still fighting I thought I was fighting the other side while this is happening. Cause yeah, and of course we all know what happens once that sequence is done. And I'm just sitting
yeah,
here, just like I'm like I had mixed emotions in that scene.
yeah. I
Very
think,
mixed emotions.
yeah, I think at some point in the future, you and me are probably going to have to do a complete commentary on 15.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Because I was
I
on
mean,
board from jump. I was very on board with the game on jump, but like the moment I start playing it again, I was like, I'm actually not feeling this. I love
yeah,
Noctis. I never called
yeah,
Noctis an emo like most people throw that term so liberally now. Noctis is not emo.
yeah. I mean, I actually did love the character quite a bit. He's, I mean, I mean, he does. I mean, don't get me wrong. He does have his vices, particularly that
Mm-hmm.
he hates vegetables, likes to stay up late, get up late,
Mm-hmm.
and at
But
times he can't.
he's mainly a straight man.
Yeah, I mean, and Millie, he does get emotional at times, but I mean,
It's natural emotions.
yeah, particularly on that train scene in which,
Yeah. He just
I
witnessed that his
actually,
betrothed died.
I actually wanted to punch Gladio for for that, you know?
Not me. I was like, yeah, Gladio's telling you to nut up right now. Time to nut up. And of course, this was a trial by fire when Ignis loses his eyes, and you have to basically you just basically have to be very you have to choose how to play out your abilities, play out your strengths and stuff. It really it was really heart wrenching to watch Ignis trying to fight. You know what I'm saying, in those battles, those random battles.
Yeah, and
And I was like, and when every time I heard Gladio say, "Hey, slow down," I slowed down. I was like, "Oh right, keep forgetting. We got to consider Ignis in this situation. He can't see that much, so we have to carry him to the top, man. Till you get to the future, then he he bad.
yeah,
Ignis is bad for a blind
yeah,
man.
yeah. And then you get to hit his DLC. I'm not sure if you played it or not.
I played it. I played all theirs except for What's that dude's name again?
Arden.
Arden. Yeah, I didn't care. I didn't care to play Arden's story. I was like I said, I was about done with the game at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, I played all three of them. Prompto was pretty good. I barely I barely knew what to do with Gladio. I'm surprised I survived that fight.
yeah. If I had to
Ignis,
rank, yeah, if
go
I had
ahead.
to rank their DLCs from worst to best, it would actually be in the order that they came out. Gladiators would be the worst. Promptos would be the second worst. Ignis would be the best of the Choco Bros, but Arden's will be on top.
Which I didn't witness.
Yeah, and actually that's why I kind of have some hope for Yuffie's because if it goes like that, which knock on wood, especially because this looks like it's going to be the only playable DLC episode for Seven Remake Part One. It should be fantastic, provided that I can get a hold of a PlayStation 5.
I couldn't gauge Yuffie's personality that much in that trailer, so I couldn't really. I was like really debating on whether she's going to be annoying or whether she's going to be endearing. Are they gonna over the top her or kind of downplay her little feistiness? Because I was jamming when she was like doing the whole little material switcheroo trick and stuff like that. That was like actually pretty nice. The whole like what you do with with if you're slip a hand with the cards and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was liking that, but like now I think about, it, I was like, please don't make her annoying. Because not too many people like I have not met anybody who did find her annoying, but I'm pretty sure there's some people that did find her annoying, but find her freaking hilarious in Machina Bridge Final Fantasy 7.
Today's Wednesday.
Yeah. Impromptu. Anything you want to say, Greenie?
Uh, Not really. I actually want to kind of wrap this up. I got
Right.
I'd have to get some stuff done before for my gaming stream at 9 o'clock.
Of
Clock,
course.
but. So how would you kind of rank your excitement for these three projects? Or
On a scale of who gives a hunt and a woohoo, uh, I'm caught in
oh,
the middle.
okay, all right, let's do them one at a time. Episode Yuffie. Um,
Uh, uh, Verging on a woohoo, but I'm still cautiously watching from the distance.
okay,
So that's a 5 out of 10.
okay. First Soldier.
Who gives a what? That means a 1 out of 10.
Ever Crisis.
That's a 4 out of 10 for me. As much as I like what they showed, I'm like, yeah, this should have been the remake.
Yeah, I definitely think we're gonna have to see a bit more of that one. And they were saying it is going to come out next year, but if it does include the entire compilation, I actually could see it being a 9 with me, or even a 10.
Right.
But I would
As
reserve.
far as the extra content, yeah, like I said, it's far too little, too late at this point for me.
Yeah. Now I actually am going to reserve some of the rumors I have heard about part two of the remake for now. I might
Mm-hmm.
send them through Messenger, but I think we're done for today. Until I start my gaming
Right. See
stream.
you there.
But yeah. So until then, have a good night, guys.
Boy, oh boy, the price of freedom is steep.
I will never be a memory.
You're Yuffie. You're supposed to say something Yuffie like.
Hmm. Where's my materia?
There we go. All right, where's my materia? The bad guys, naturally. Are we? Okay. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Stream is still live, and I'm still here. You guys take care. I think Green's got this.